Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first of two straight double game weeks for the Contcast for Game Week 2034. I'm your host, Swan. We have from left to right new face this week. We have Foggy.
Hi.
Boss with camera issues, but Boss is
Yeah,
here.
I'm having some technical difficulties here.
Boss's camera is falling over with picking his Game Week players for him. And then we have JK.
Hi.
All right. I think you're first, JK, so let me go share the screen. Everybody can see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not my team.
Oh, yeah, I'm not in the chat. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
I had the wrong screen. Hold on. Yeah, you can see that, right?
Yeah.
Go up a bit, and you're right there, JK, right?
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead.
Okay, so the first thing is I've swapped Rashford out for Lukaku. I put Lukaku back in because I did some research on this. Rashford scored twice since game week 25 against Watford and Leicester. The only two games Lukaku didn't play. With Lukaku on the pitch, Rashford hasn't scored. And Lukaku's got ridiculous. But, so my only issue here, as I've noticed, with that team, even with Foster, I would be about 0.6 short of doing De La Feu and Lucas to Sjoberg and Salah for 36. So I'm just wondering whether to drop Robertson for Laporte and Foster for Gunn. And it leaves me like 0.3 leeway on those two moves.
The thing with dropping Robertson now is you'll want him back by 36.
That's what I'm debating. The problem is, if I look at my team in 36, like I'm going to have Valerie, who's got a pretty decent fixture, if I remember correctly. So I'd have Laporte. I'd have Valerie with Bournemouth at home, Laporte, and then I'd be looking at probably playing Doherty, either Duffy against Newcastle or Doherty or Holebas. I'm just looking at ways I can possibly save money because I'd have to I'd have to take Mane or I'd have to find the 0.6 from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Which means losing one of Son or Ericsson.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you completely sold on Rashford?
On Lukaku, you mean? I've got rid of Rashford. I've got Lukaku in now.
Yeah, I'm Lukaku.
I just think he's worth the punt. I mean, we've got West Ham next. Let's be honest, right now, West Ham is an absolute plum fixture, especially at home.
Yeah.
Lukaku loves playing West Ham.
I could see Lukaku bagging a brace in that game, but I could also see him being benched in one of the...
It's possible, but I think, apart from maybe Deeney, I think that's a risk with almost any premium asset, because I could easily see one of the Arsenal assets getting benched in that game. I could easily see one of Alba or Lukaku seeing some bench time in one of those two. And Lukaku, 37 and 38, he's prime captain material in those two games, particularly if we're out of the Champions League. So it could be a punt worth taking. And if we're out of the Champions League by the time of the double, I see no reason to bench Lukaku. We've got nothing else to play for except top four.
True.
I'm okay with the punt. I'll be honest. Go ahead, JK.
Sorry, no, I was saying that you guys, obviously, your home record recently is absolutely ludicrous. You haven't conceded in 3.
Yeah,
but
I'm
it is
to beat you when we play at home.
Sorry?
I think we'll actually beat you guys when we play.
I could see it, but our away record is iffy. But I could still see Lukaku bagging in that one.
Yeah,
City, who knows? Who knows what could happen?
They usually score against their old teams.
Yeah. So I think it's a punt, yeah, but it could be a punt worth taking. He's still pretty low owned. So, I mean, go on. Sorry. So, what do you guys think of that option then to free up the cash?
I'm all right with Lukaku as an option. I would question Lucas, to be honest. I know he's probably going to play this game coming up because of Ali's hand. I can't tell you he'll play the next two, both of the next two. I don't know him as an option, to be honest, as being very attacking, except the fact that he's going to be on the pitch. So I would almost think about taking some of the money you'll have in the bank and going to Bernardo Silva there. And I know then that might screw you for selling him for Salah, but you can take a look at other options then. There's even the option what I'm considering is Aguero out in 36 for Firmino, and then getting Salah for one of the other mids. But this in a vacuum, I'm not sold on Lucas as a pick.
Right, I understand that. It's a risk. Again, I think it's potentially a risk worth taking, and it's short term because, like I say, the plan would be to get rid of him in 36 anyway. So with Kane injured, I think there's potential there. If he plays Huddersfield and Brighton and only sees maybe 10 minutes against City, I'd be all right with that. Because if I get Son and Eriksen, I've still got the two main guys, and I've potentially got a very explosive option on 2 prime fixtures.
It is a risk, but if you're keeping the money in the bank anyway, why wouldn't you just, I don't know, go with either Sterling or De Bruyne now over Lucas, and then just
I wouldn't. Well, the argument is I wouldn't have the money in the bank.
But if you've got the money now, you'd then still have the money.
Yeah. No, I mean, I could easily do that because it leaves me 5.5 in the bank, but I'm not convinced that, I'm not convinced De Bruyne starts all 4 of the next 3. So which one, if Pep's going to say he wants him for, say, the second leg, and he plays Palace, then I could see him easily seeing a bench in one of the 2 games.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. Same with Sterling, but the thing was, if you went Sterling over De Bruyne, and you could still just turn Sterling into any other player you wanted to in 36, he almost definitely will play the Spurs and the United games because they're so big, and his record against the top 6 this season is impressive, and that Spurs home game is going to be prime time for City to turn it on. Especially
again, I can see Sterling seeing the bench potentially this week. Again, they're all decent options, but I don't trust. Truth be told, I don't trust Trippier to play at least one of Huddersfield or Brighton. I'm not fancying Lloris. If I'm going to take my third Spurs option, I'd rather just throw a punt in there. It's a risk, yeah, but I don't see it as any more risky than any other option right now.
I guess what you're looking at with Lucas is he's got no form on top of anything else. He's coming in. So he's scored 1 goal since game week 19. And he's not really been playing. I
mean, the question is whether he's been injured or. But I'm just looking at thinking if with Kane out, Potts wasn't very optimistic on Ali starting this one.
No,
I think he almost certainly, and Lamella's injured, so I don't really think he's got any option other than to play Lucas.
I think Lucas will definitely play this week.
And I just wonder, with the City 2 games back-to-back against City and then Brighton, I can't see him not playing one of the 2 games in the league. And it's the gamble that he plays the Brighton game.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, definitely.
So
it's a punt.
It's a punt, yeah.
And your punt to take.
Yeah, so the question then becomes, where, if I stick to that draft, where do I find the 0.6 from, if not from Robertson?
Just looking at a team. Ward-Prowse over De La Feu. There's 0.6.
Well, the thing is, for the 0.6, that involves selling De La Feu to Sjøberg already. I'm 0.6 off. Off De La Feu and Lucas to Sjøberg and Salah. So I'd either have to take Mane or find 0.6, lose 0.6 somewhere else.
Lucas to knock out.
I've got 3. I'm gonna have. I've got Dunk, Ryan, and Duffy.
Oh.
Lose Dunk for Bednarek.
That's free up enough. That's not 0.6.
But if you do
and I'm doing
Bednarek and Lucas to knockout, doesn't
knockout's like 5-3, right?
Yeah, I don't fancy knockout as well. Now March is back. I just don't. I'm not sure I fancy knockout to play both.
Do you want to do Camerata there for a 1 week punt?
Again, I'd rather. I know what you're saying about Robert, but I'd rather just hold on to Lucas. I don't see any of these options as being any better than Lucas.
Okay, then there you go. Then that's your answer.
So I know losing Robert could be a risk. Ideally, I'd go for Trent, but he worries me.
Look,
he doesn't always play, and he gets subbed early a lot.
Yeah, it's Huddersfield. Kyle Walker-Peters would have a hat-trick against Huddersfield. So Lucas,
yeah, I think so.
Is as good a pick as
I think
that's fine. Yeah.
So I think as an option, going for Laporte could because I think a lot of people will be ditching Liverpool defenders anyway.
Yeah.
On the wild card.
The
worst comes to the worst, and we get some sort of news that Trent's going to play against Huddersfield. A -8 to get him in isn't the end of the world. It's against Huddersfield. It could easily pay back.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the route I'm going to take, is bringing Gunn and Laporte. The double game week king, Laporte.
If he does it 3 double game weeks in a row, he will be...
He's the new Clint Dempsey, the old double game week king.
He will be that.
Yeah.
Okay, cheers, fellas. Thanks. Yeah. Okay, who's next?
That's Bo commenting on your team. So I think we have Boss.
Right.
Is this your most recent one, Boss?
I think so. I can't really make out what that is, but yeah.
It's Aguero, Jimenez, Dini, the one that's on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, and double the Saints defense with Valerie and Bednarek.
There you go.
Triple Saints defense.
Yep.
That's brave.
Well, I've not got much team value, so I had to go really budget in defense. So a 3.9, 4.1, and a 4.3 was the best bet.
Yeah.
And you're going to play them 36 through the end of the year. So it's
just out of interest, Boss, would Dunk and, say, Sjoberg work over Knockout and Bednarek? If you go on budget, I really like Sjoberg as an option. His stats are impressive. Really impressive.
I always view Højbjerg as more of a kind of defensive midfielder.
He has been.
He sits so deep when I watch.
He definitely has been. But actually, I was literally just looking at his stats, and I'll ping up the screenshot in the group just now so you can.
Well, thing is, right, Knockout's a 1 week punt. I'm just having him this week for his double, and then I'm losing him for Delafeu. I've got exactly that.
I mean, if you're set on Knockout, then it's fine. So what are you going to do with him after this week?
He's going to go to Delafeu.
Delafeu, fair enough. So I'm going for Delafeu this week because I can just shove him on the bench. I've got the 3 Spurs plus Jota. Yeah. So Delafeu's likely to be fit for the double. I'll just stick him on the bench.
Well, Knockout's going to start both games, and I think Brighton will keep at least 1 clean sheet. So Knockout's floor is 5 points, which is fine for a single week punt. And there's always the off chance he does get pissed or something. So I'm fine having him just this week. The only question would be is when you were mentioning Lukaku, now I was just playing around, and I can actually do Dini to Lukaku, Mane to Delafeu for exact change, basically. So then it's the question of whether or not you go without Liverpool like attack.
Over these next 2, I think that's fine. A lot of people are not going to have them.
Yeah, I guess my route to getting one back would be losing Sterling in game week 36.
I'm not sure that's going to be the worst thing. Again, if City make the semis, so many games in short space of time.
Here's the thing with Cardiff, though. That's their away fixture in 35. Or Pool have a home fixture or away fixture with them. Is if they don't get anything from Brighton in the Brighton match at the end of this game week, I don't know what their motivation is going to continue to try to stay up, because I think they might all but mathematically be gone. Whereas if they do get something from Brighton, I could see them being very cagey against Liverpool at home, because their next 2 are Fulham, Palace.
That's true.
So it's a tough call. I could see them being very tight, trying to get a draw somehow, 0-0. So in that respect, I could see selling Mane might not be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. The main thing with anything is having that route back to at least one of Mane or Salah for 36.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you got a value tied up in Mane or not?
No.
Yeah, I've still got Mane. I think his sale price for me is like 9.9. His current price is 10.1. So
yeah,
for the sake of 0.3, but Mane to me, he seems like a really sort of streaky player, and maybe his streak's ended.
He does always like the end of a season, though.
He does.
Always did at Southampton, and last season always performs well last round.
Yep.
Champions League. We saw it last year. I think he is a pressure player, and with those 4 games, Cardiff, Huddersfield, Newcastle, Wolves, I think he really could come out from under from Salah's shadow and put in some big performances.
Yeah,
I mean, for me, I'm going all in, but it's also worth noting we've got 2 weeks to assess. If Mane looks like he's the better option in the next 2, he's the better option. We don't have to get Salah.
Exactly right. Yep. Which makes it a lot easier for everyone.
And if Liverpool drop points against Chelsea and Cardiff, you got to question like how their morale will be after like City increase their gap if they win their games.
Yeah, and if they make the semis of the Champions League as well.
Yeah,
I think assuming Liverpool make the semis, and if City were to get knocked out of the Champions League by Spurs, you're then looking at Liverpool focusing on winning the Champions League, whereas City will focus on winning the league, and then Liverpool might drop off, whereas City will be 100% the best options to have.
Yeah,
I don't think just giving up, but I think we'll certainly have one eye on the Champions League.
Yeah. I mean, I don't live in England, but I think Pool are desperate to end this crap, having never won the Premier League.
Yeah, I agree. I think Pool, if you put Poll in the group right now, asking all Liverpool fans, would they rather get knocked out by, say, Juve in the semis, but win the league, or reach the final, but have City win the league, they would probably take getting knocked out by Juve to win the league.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Whereas most City fans would probably prefer the European Cup.
Yeah, probably.
Which game is first this week? Is it City is first, right? Although, yeah, but not by much. It's the same day. They're both on Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Straight after.
All right. Cool, boss. Tom Marks has a bunch of questions. So, best third City player, assuming Aguero is one, Sterling the other. KDB, Bernardo Silva, Laporte, or Edison?
If you want nailedness, Edison. If you want a differential, KDB.
Maybe. You kind of want to split the difference, Bernardo Silva, because he's a somewhat differential.
Yeah. And if you want City defense but want Lloris, Laporte.
Certainly be inclined to go for City defenders as a third player, just from their defensive record recently, and to get their defensive record against the top 6.
The pick is probably their defense, to be honest. I think for me, I'd go Bilva.
I'd be inclined to go Bilva as well. Some of these fixtures they have, I could see them giving up the odd goal, to Burnley away, possibly, which they've done before this season. I mean, they've given up the odd goal to mid-table teams. Bernardo, I think, will play more often than not. He might get a rest in one of these next 3, depending on how.
That's the only thing that puts me off Laporte, but I just don't know who I'd want instead of him.
Right. To me, I'd rather have more budget options in defense for the bench boost in 35 than Laporte. I mean, when we get to my team, you'll see who I'm taking off from City. But of these lists that he has here, I think I would either go Edison or Bilva.
Yeah.
I think the thing with Bilva is, although he did haul against Fulham, his record before that is actually really quite poor. Like, his underlying stats were decent, but he hadn't scored more than 5 in a game since game week 20 before that. And although he's consistently either playing 90 minutes or thereabouts, he's not returning. Whereas the defense has been consistently returning, even if it does drop a goal every now and then.
The thing is,
six clean sheets in the last 7.
Bilva might play in the front 3 now, though, because De Bruyne is back, so he doesn't need to play in that centre mid role. So I think he's going to be threatening Mahrez and Sané's position more, and maybe even Sterling's, and take some of the win roles off him as well. So I think with Bilva, he's fairly nailed to start either in the midfield, but he starts in the front 3, then he's going to be such a value pick.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Yep. Okay, second question is the fourth slot. If it's not one of the city mids, he's wondering about Jota. Also on Lucas Moore, possibly as a great short-term punt. I guess he's not too keen on Delefeo, which is fine. So I'm bringing up a comparison for Jota right now. I know at home he's got much better stats than on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's had something like 4 shots in his last 4.
Yep.
Or something like that. But he's also been involved in, I think, pretty much all of their last few goals recently. He's either scored or assisted 4 of their last 5.
Let me bring this over. So this I just did it just to bring it up. Jota and then Delefeu on the right. These are last 4 home matches, since both those guys all of them are home the next 2 game week. So I mean, good XG definitely at home comparatively.
He's got 2
Yeah,
home games in 35. Brighton obviously poor away. Arsenal defensively shocking away.
very much so. Mm-hmm.
And Wolves love playing a top 6 side.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know Late Riser posted that Wolves in their last 3, I think, only have 4 or 5 shots on target as a team. So that's pretty concerning. But again, at home, Jota definitely seems to have the stats.
Yeah. But maybe the thing to note now with Wolves is now they've got no cup to focus on. Are they going to go all out to try and get that 7th place?
I mean, if I was them, I would. But there's a lot of money in that spot.
Yeah. And it's potentially a Europa League spot as well.
Yep. Yeah. And Leicester's running, I believe, is the same or slightly better, maybe, than theirs. Since they're competing with Leicester, I guess. And you could say Watford, maybe, for that last spot.
On Everton.
And Everton. Hey, mathematically, sure.
Yeah.
They've been good lately. They've been very tight defensively.
No, I think all those teams like Watford, Wolves, Leicester, and Everton are all going to be gunning for that last spot, mainly for the Europa potential. Because there's a decent chance of it. I don't think anybody will be taking things easy.
So Leicester last 3, not great. Arsenal home, it's still listed as a 4, but we know that that's not true. City away, terrible. Chelsea home. Chelsea's in the Europa League final. That game might not mean as much to them. So,
and if they're out the top 4 race by them,
and it really means nothing. Yeah, yeah. I think Jota. He's saying as a 4th mid though. See, if I went with Jota, it would be 5th.
Well, I think he's gone for JWP or Højbjerg as his 5th.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I mean, it's as good a punt as any, right? I mean, all these guys we're talking about in the middle of the road and the middle of the road teams, they could show up or they could not. Goalkeeper. Are we counting on save points for Gunn in 35? Not off the top of my head, who do they have? They have Newcastle away, Watford away. Maybe.
It could be something, but if you actually, I said this at the time, I know they've not got that many clean sheets, but if you actually look at Southampton's record since Arsenal come in against anyone who isn't from the Big 6, and it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went with the triple up. I think Southampton have a good shout at keeping a clean sheet against Newcastle. Maybe even against Watford. You just don't know. They're both away games, so they'll probably set up fairly defensively. And I think they're a decent shot. I wouldn't bank on a clean sheet by any means, but if you go in with the expectation that Gunn is a very cheap option, he's 4.3.
Yeah.
I think he's a good enabler.
At the end of the day, you don't buy the keepers for clean sheets. You never have.
No.
You buy them for the saves.
And also, Gunn's fixtures to round out the season: Bournemouth at home, West Ham away, and Huddersfield at home. I'll probably start him on all 3.
Yeah, particularly if you're going with Ryan, because Ryan's last couple especially are horrendous. And if Brighton are safe...
Well, they'll definitely be safe after this week if they get what they should get.
If they get 6 points, yeah.
Oh, yeah, if they get 6, they're in. Yeah. Yeah, I think Gunn could be worth the outlay. I'm going to consider that in my team now, too, because I got Foster. Mainly because you see Huddersfield and Southampton home and you think, there's 6 points, clean sheets in the bag. But
I mean, the thing with Foster, I'm looking at a dunk to Holebas move, and if he's fit, I prefer the upside of Holebas.
Yep.
especially in that Huddersfield game.
Because if I want to do that next week too, then my Vardy option can't be Deeney because I would have been tapped out on Watford. So I kind of want to leave that option open to see who replaces Vardy for my team.
Yeah, so if you go for Gunn, you've got your Watford spot available. Yeah.
And then, 3 of the last 3 coming in are great. So, yeah, I think Gunn's acceptable for 3.
I mean, at the end of the day, he's 4.3. You know what you get what you pay for. Like, if you want more chance for clean sheet, get Lloris or Edison. You're not buying Gunn for clean sheets.
Is there any chance McCarthy plays one of these games coming in?
It seems unlikely. Like, Gunn has now started 6 in a row. So
Huddersfield at home, a nothing game. I don't know. I mean, that's
maybe, but it's not like Gunn's been particularly poor in general.
Right.
I think he's been pretty good.
He's got 2 in the 6 games, which he hasn't really managed all season.
And if you look at the other teams, and if you look at the 6 he started, the teams they haven't cut the clean sheet against are Liverpool, Spurs, United, and Arsenal.
Yep. Like you look at it here, let's say Wolves get a win at Southampton this week. Then they got 5 games left. If Cardiff get anything, they could only be 1 or 2 points above relegation. So you would want to start your best squad in the last 5 games of the year to ensure your safety. So yeah, I could see Gunn starting all those.
Yeah, and I think ultimately Gunn, to me, looks like he's going to be the number 1 at this point. Yeah. I think it looked to me originally as though Hasenhüttl was testing the water. He was sort of rotating because Gunn missed 6 in a row or something like that, 5 in a row. But he randomly got Chelsea away and actually got an 11-pointer, kept a clean sheet. So with McCarthy in the team, their results weren't great. Gunn's come back in. Yoshida's come back in, and their defence has just gone on a massive upturn. So
that is true.
I think Gunn is safe enough.
Percentage-wise, if you look at it as a percent, because obviously Foster's played more games, Gunn has a higher number of BAPs per game, not bonus, but BPS, than Foster overall. And again, much less games. I mean, Gunn's only started, 6? So
7. He played one game. He played one game. Yeah.
Yeah, he had the 0-0 against Chelsea. That's right.
Chelsea.
Okay. Yeah, I think Gunn's fine. Top marks for what you're looking at. Number 4 is, depending on changes, I could get more Prowse instead of Højbjerg. Worth it. I don't know. I mean, you're only going to have him for the bench boost, right? So.
Yeah.
I like Joe.
You might start.
Offers literally nothing except set pieces.
Yeah.
Which
he is great at.
He is fantastic. He is fantastic set piece taker. And
6 goals under Hasenhüttl now. I mean, that's impressive.
It is. Unless you're going to do something with the 0.7 that you'll save in getting Højbjerg, it might be just best to stick with the guy on set pieces.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you don't need money, then go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, he is the better pick, I think, in my opinion. All right. Vardy is a 1-week punt. I think, does he have him in the wild card and then losing him? I guess.
Yeah, I think he's talking about having, same as you, having him now, keeping hold of, having him in.
I kept him. I've had him this whole time. So to me, it just was a waste to sell. But buying him now to sell, I don't know. Yeah, the Newcastle game could go either way. Vardy's obviously in form. They're tough at home. I mean, they set up well on the away from home. So Newcastle, we'll see.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
Vardy loves it when teams are attacking, so he can hit them on the break. Newcastle are going to sit very deep. Although they don't have Lejeune now, so
they don't.
Weaker.
No, but Fernandes is not bad. He's not a poor defender, Fernandes, by any stretch.
No.
So they do what? Lascelles, Saul, Yedlin, and Fernandes.
Yeah. So they've still got Lascelles. They've still got Shars back, I think, from suspension now.
Yeah, and Dummett's back. Yeah,
Dummett's back. So
I just think as a 1-week punt to then sell is different than just keeping in the team. But if you guys know what the move to make next week, that could work out. I mean, looking at his team down below, if he's going to go Højbjerg or Ward-Prowse, then it makes sense, I think, to stick with Vardy because you would want to bench your Saints midfielder this week.
Yeah, I mean, if he goes for Ward-Prowse, he has to find the money from somewhere because he says he's got nothing in the bank.
Right.
So if he goes for Ward-Prowse, he's got to find that cash from somewhere. So who's he going to take out? It's basically going to have to be Vardy or probably KDB or Robertson.
Yeah, Robertson. Yeah.
So he can't have Vardy. If he wants to keep Vardy, he's going to have to go with Højbjerg instead of Ward-Prowse.
Right. Whereas downgrade him to like a Deeney.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's worth it. If I were him, I would probably go Deeney and just wait next week, and just wait, save it through for next week and go Ward-Prowse. I think Deeney's a really good option, and if I wasn't going Lukaku up front, I'd definitely have Deeney. I think he's going to really bully Arsenal this week, and he's in great form for the double game week.
Yeah, and I think Watford are on a high.
Yep. Arsenal horrible away. Probably what I would do.
I think he's got his last one there about Dunk.
And 6. Is that your phone or your camera, boss?
Sorry, what, mate?
Is that your camera? Somebody trying to join. I hear a lot of background music. That's okay.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just an email, sorry.
No problem. All right, last question from him is getting Dunk this week. No intention of wasting a transfer on changing him. Is that a mistake? I don't think so. I have that in my team as well. I think it, it's fine. I think, they're keeping him through these 2 doubles, unless something major stands out, like if Bully, scores this week or whatever, and you want to take the chance on him as a replacement for Dunk, you could do that if you don't have 3 Wolves already. I think it's worth this week and to hold on unless something absolutely stands out next week. What do you guys?
Yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, again, if you don't want to waste the transfer, you either don't get Dunk or you just prepare for whatever comes in the second double. I will probably lose him for Holebas because I'm willing to take. I don't think a hit in 36 is the worst thing in the world to take a -4 to get a Liverpool player for Huddersfield. But keeping the third Brighton is probably better if it was Knockout instead of a third defender. But it's not the worst thing in the world. So it's probably gets you 4 points, probably gets you 4 or 5 points at worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's fine to bench because, again, he's got a double. He's got a decent floor, at least 4 points. And I think, you're getting him for the 2 doubles back-to-back. So having Dunk there is probably worth the sacrifice of having him on the bench and not keeping a clean sheet during double game week 35.
If Spurs get past City, would they use the Brighton game as kind of a rotation?
I think so.
Yeah, probably.
You're obviously playing your players against City on the road. I don't think you'd throw that match away. So in that respect, Dunk could, it could be a 0-0 there or something like that.
Yeah, it's possible.
Again, it's a Lucas Moura type game. If that happens, and if they go out, they're fighting for top 4. So it's going to come down to basically Llorente versus probably Lucas for one.
Yeah.
For one spot.
Are the semis between 35 and 36, or 36 and then
35 is the double, so they're 36 between 36 and 37.
Is the first
37
leg?
and 38.
Okay. So they'd have a week off from the Brighton match to West Ham. So maybe the West Ham one they rotate. I don't know, but actually they don't have a week off. They have 4 days. Oh yeah. That Brighton one does seem like it could be a cagey 0-0. So you might as well keep Dunk and see what happens.
A lot depends on whether they make the semis. If they don't, I think it'll be all out to make sure they get top 4.
Yep.
Get that 3rd spot sewn up.
Sure. If they go out, they're going to focus obviously on the league. But yeah, like you said, JK, unless Holebas had great stats against Arsenal this week, or Bully or something like that, it could be worth a -4 to lose Dunk. Otherwise, there's no harm in keeping. All right. We'll get into my team. So a couple of differences here from what I've shown. So in this discussion, I might now actually go Gunn instead of Foster to leave myself open for that. What I want to get from Watford. I think I'm off Camarasa now, and I'm going to go with probably Deliafeu or Jota. I'll take another look at it and see. But I think I might want to go Deulofeu there to leave myself the option open to go double Wolves for Dunk, keep Dunk, have an option to do Holibas, Vardy to Dini, etc. So on the surface, I guess the only question I have left is Silva, KDB, or just spend the money and get up to Sterling somehow. In which case, you're looking at a couple of hits over 35 and 36 to get better options, and then also to get Salah in if needed.
I mean, are you set on keeping Mane?
Mane? Yeah, I think so. I think I'm sad. I think he'll do well against Cardiff. I think who knows, the Chelsea match coming up. Yeah, I'm pretty much.
Yeah.
And I got a lot.
Because seriously, as it stands, I actually still have Mane in my team. So.
Okay.
And I can afford to keep him. So it's basically just it means like you, I'd have to choose between Jota and Deulofeu. Mm-hmm. So I'll make that decision.
If I go to Deulofeu, it's 1.2 more, so my bank would still have 3.5. But again, once Vardy gets going out the next week for probably, well, it could be Lacazette there. I might keep that option open. Boss and I were talking before the cast started that's actually something I'll monitor. But if it goes down Vardy to something like Dini, then there's plenty of money in the bank to turn any midfielder into solid 15. And then, of course, Mendy will go for a Liverpool defender in 35 or 36. Yeah, so I guess my only question is Bernardo Silva or spend the money to get KDB or all the way up to get Sterling. Yes, I like the Mendy punt, so I'm pretty set on that.
That's fine. Actually, I'm wondering whether I could find Mendy. I'm wondering about Mendy. You've got me thinking about Mendy over Laporte now myself. If it wasn't for the 0.6, well,
it just. I look at it this way: do I want to spend the money on getting Lloris as a nailed-on Spurs? No, because I wouldn't play him this week. This is arguably the best fixture. I can really see Kyle Walker-Peters playing this week too against Palace. So there goes that option as well. I think. The post in the goal column that TFF posted, Mendy's I think almost assured to play this week, and I think he'll probably play one in the double. Knowing what he can do and knowing that how City need points here, that's enough for me. I think to take a shot for these two.
I mean, the thing for me with Mendy, he literally, even when he's played, I mean, he hasn't actually played since game week 12, but after game week 4, he has 1 assist.
Mm-hmm.
So all of his threat has come in like the first 4 weeks.
But if you I look back at the stats from, for example, game week 11, the Southampton match, they won 6-1. He could have easily had a couple of assists in there. That game, they absolutely dominated. I mean, he wound up with a blank, but it was something he could have gotten something from. I mean, when he's on the pitch, he may not return the fantasy numbers, but he definitely has the steps. And he seems healthy now. Well, we hope.
And as far as I can see, he's played 90 minutes in every game he's been fully fit for this season.
He has. He's not ever gotten stuck.
Yeah. And I think maybe that was the thing. Maybe they were just sort of easing him back in.
I think the thing is, he's also not really got a decent replacement. Like, Delph is okay, but he's not great. Zinchenko's done reasonably well recently, but he's nowhere near Mendy's quality.
Mm-hmm.
And so Pep will keep him running as much as he can. And if he gets injured or burns out before the end of the season, then he's got a whole summer to recover again. I think potentially only Pep's. Because he will get injured again at some point because it's Mendy.
Yeah.
And so I think basically Pep will get as much from him as he can until he gets injured again.
He could be worth a gamble over Laporte. That's 0.1 more. Have you got a plan to get Salah in then if you keep Mane, or are you just going to forget Salah?
No, I have a plan. If Vardy goes for Dini next week, there's plenty of money to turn any of those mids into Salah. Even if I have Deulofeu over Camarasa. If I get another option like Lacazette, then I thought as a place, because I'm looking at City's last 3, especially if they happen to come back and beat Spurs still in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Go Aguero to Firmino, and then either of the Spurs mids or even Silva to Salah.
Because you've got me thinking now that I could go keep Mane over in where I've got him, and again go either Jota or probably Deulofeu, because I'd want, with going for Lukaku, I'd probably want the Watford attack.
Yep.
If he was fit, it's an option for me, and one maybe I'll consider because it gives me Mane, and the only downside would obviously be I'd probably have to lose Ericsson to get Salah in. I'm not sure I'd probably be able to manage it, but it's maybe considering. It probably just means I'd only have 2 against Hudds rather than 1.
Yep.
I could do the Mendy to Robertson or Trent move, same as you.
Yep. I mean, if you don't like Mendy, your options are, and I put this in the chat, Laporte, okay, that's safe. Trippier, and get an ulcer with every team sheet that comes out, or just stick with Robertson.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Lucas, so Trippier's not an option for me, and I actually don't. I think Trippier's a risk. So Mendy could be worth the punt. You never know.
Yeah, it's the end of the year, and I also, after I did this, I looked at it. I'm like, oh my god, my game week 1 team. These were my 3 City, and they all returned for me game week 1. So it's a sign. I'm going to keep it.
So you had Bilver in week 1.
I did have Bilver in week 1. Yep.
Wow, that's impressive. Oh yeah, he was a massive wagon. To be fair, he was a massive wagon in week 1, if I remember correctly. So.
Yeah. And he scored this, and Mendy had 2 assists that game as well. And
yeah, he did.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I basically got 1 points from that because Bilver go to Mendy assist.
Yeah, you have 2 million more to play with than me. So.
Right. Yeah, that's that too.
With Lukaku there, I don't have that kind of luxury downgrade, so I'll probably lose Mane and just go with maybe my 2 Liverpool. Annoyingly, I'd be 0.1 short of Robertson, but maybe he'll drop before Huddersfield, who knows?
Right.
But I can always get Trent if we get word he's going to play, or go for Van Dijk.
Yep, that's an option too. All right, the new guy, Froggy. You want to talk us through your teams? Start with the top one, or?
Yeah. So I've been working on a team, and there's an updated version right at the bottom of the chat.
Okay, I'll go to that. I go down to that then. Where are you at? Right here. All right.
Yeah, I've changed Laporte out for Mendy currently as well.
Okay.
But apart from that, same team.
Okay. So what's your plan? Are you planning to hug in? Are you planning on a dunk out move for 35?
So my plan for 35 is Dunk and Lukaku out for Valerie and Aubameyang. Because I really like Arsenal for their double. And I think having won so convincingly the first leg of their Europa League game, Aubameyang may well play both in the double, and then I can take him out. I'll probably swap something like De La Feu and Aubameyang out for Salah or Mane and another striker, a cheaper striker, in 36. But I don't have a set plan, but I like to keep a bit more flexible at the moment.
I mean, the only thing I like with Lukaku is, as I said, yes, the double isn't the best. But if you look at 37 and 38, with no Kane, he's an absolute standout captaincy choice.
He is, for sure. But there's after 34, there's 3 games then before 37.
That is also true, yeah.
And I'm at 81k currently. I would really like to try and boost that up a bit. And so I definitely want to just hold him around if he's going to produce 3-2s or maybe not even play one of the games, the double. And Aubameyang, when he plays, he scores. Emery's shown that he can play Aubameyang for 9, like he can start him in 10, 15 plus games in a row. So he's not going to have a problem playing him 2 or 3 games a week. Now he's fit because was he ill for the last couple of games?
Yeah, he was ill. Yeah,
and Emery justified that. And so I don't know, Aubameyang will probably be my punt and my double game with captain. Although I may just go for one of Aguero for safety, one of Aguero Sterling for safety, but we'll see.
All right.
Yep. I like this setup here. And the move you're thinking 35 works well.
Yeah, you could even go for Lacazette if he looks like the better option.
Yeah. I'll obviously watch what happens this week and watch what happens in the next Europa League game. If Aubameyang gets 90 and Lacazette doesn't start again, I'll certainly be. And Lacazette's got the form as well at the moment. I just know how explosive Aubameyang is. It will very much be a move. But yeah, still thinking about it for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
love Lukaku for this week. And
yeah, I may even join you on that yet. We'll see. If I don't mind back-to-back hits in 35 and 36, it's an option.
This late in the season, especially if you're chasing a bit like I am, is time to make some hits and try and make them up, because worst case scenario is I've got a good team, I slipped maybe 100, 120k from 80, whereas I could end up at 30 or something if I play my cards right and I actually take considered risks.
I mean, I'm 11k, so I mean, it could be a worth risk taking to try and crack that top 10k.
Yeah.
So it's worth weighing up for next week, because again, a couple of -4s at this stage of the season ain't the worst, and then Aubameyang could go back to Lukaku for those last two fixtures.
Double game week especially doesn't matter quite as much, because obviously they've got 2 games to make it up, and with Lukaku playing City away and City at home and Everton away, it's
I mean, there's even an option to keep Aubameyang for 37, because they've got Brighton at home.
Yeah. And Arsenal will be chasing top 4 as well.
Yeah. I think that'll depend on Europa League, but you've got that option there to captain Aubameyang at home to Brighton.
Yeah. Definitely.
So,
38, you could end up going with Lukaku, but I mean, City, for example, have Brighton away, and I always like to take a punt game with 38 as well, so I might just bring Lukaku back in, or all sorts of options. 38 is my. A couple of years ago, I had got Giroud in for 38, captained his hat trick, so I'd love to do something like that. So I don't want to plan a captain for 38 per se.
Right.
Frog, just something apparently happened. Something apparently went down on the FFS Twitter. There was, if you just go into the main chat, there, let's go right to the bottom, and read like the last sort of 3 bits.
Am I at the bottom already? Yeah, I'm at the bottom.
Yeah.
Coach.
So did you guys catch what happened on the Scout Twitter account?
Aubameyang injury.
They wanted to search for it, and they ended up tweeting it. It was a bit like Ed Balls. They've had an Ed Balls moment.
Yeah, gotta love it. So that's
actually just referenced the Ed Balls tweet.
Yeah. So I can open this. I mean, what is new injury scare? Blah blah blah. Premier League clash. What for? I mean, so this would nail Lacazette. That's true.
But it's also, I mean, that being said, if it's a move for next week, we'll have more information then anyway. So it's not like it's desperate for now.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't start. I wouldn't even know if I want to play Lacazette this week, to be honest. So
yeah,
I think with Aubameyang, if it's
yeah, right. Yep.
We'll see.
At least he didn't tweet that shit on your whole mom. So, I'm sorry. Are you have anything else to go on, Frog?
No, any more comments on my team, really?
Okay.
No, apart from that, I'm ready to move on. I'm actually settled with my team for the first time now.
Nice.
Close to the deadline.
Yeah, so am I.
All right. Jossie, I assume main team.
I assume it's his main team rather than his sub-9 or his missus' team. Yeah.
I think he post that in the main chat last week and just didn't say it was his missus' team. He just said, "What do you think of this team, lads?" Anyway, Camarasa to Joe Del Feu would be next week's move. Wants to know if we should start with Edison. I'm not high on Cardiff scoring many goals, but I mean they're going to have to if they want to stay up. So
yeah, Camarasa is as badly as anyone, especially with the Pens.
Well, obviously, I like the team because it's very similar to mine. But I went knockout over Camarasa and couldn't afford his Vertonghen. Went with another Saints defender. But yeah, I think it looks good.
I wouldn't go Edison here because if it locks him out of one more week of being a Jota, then I wouldn't do it. I think we do need one more week to look at that.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I think it's good. I think he had another comment later in the chat. Where was he? Down here further. Not that far.
Apologies, but I'm going to need to head off. I've got to go to work.
All right, Frog.
All right, Froggy. Take care, much.
Great to see you.
It's been a lot of fun. See you.
Right, see you. He said, discuss this instead. Is it worth storing up a -4 to lose Dunk and Camarasa, or just play Robo? Again, you could keep Dunk next week. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to do that. And even if you do lose him for -4, fine. There's a Holy Bath or the Bully option. Does he mean just play Robo this week or next? I assume he means next.
I think he means next week.
Yeah, Cardiff away. Sure, you could play him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd play Robo.
Hang on. I'm assuming he means this week because next week could be bench boosting.
I wouldn't play him this week. Well, over who? I wouldn't sell Cameron.
He'd be selling Dunk to get knockout, I guess. And then playing Robbo.
And that's splitting the risk, I guess, if you want to do it that way. So you don't have all your eggs in a defensive basket.
To be honest, I quite like how he's got it right now. Yeah, unless he really prefers knockout to Camarasa like I do. Who would he be getting in for Dunk? Did he say?
He didn't say. But it would be then to get knockout instead of Camarasa. So it wouldn't be somebody too terribly expensive. Maybe a Watford defender.
Yeah.
Did he maybe mention it further down? 2 million in the bank. Okay, so it could be anybody. In a way.
Yeah, it could be a Mendy.
Could be a Mendy. Could be a Laporte. I don't think he's high on Mendy. He and I were talking earlier. But yeah, but it could be Laporte. That's fine. I like it how he has it here too, though.
Well, if he's considering Edison, Laporte's just as good of an option. Yeah, I'd maybe do to Laporte and Camarasa to knock out.
Yeah. I'm not thrilled with Vertonghen. You and I were talking, boss, but I mean it's probably a clean sheet this week. You're not going to get much more than 6.
No.
Out of him.
Yeah, and Laporte could easily get a clean sheet against Palace.
Yep. JK, do you have thoughts on this setup?
I mean, no issue with it. I guess he's going to, mainly with his team value, I'm assuming he's going to be looking at Sterling to Salah for 36. See, so that's what, 3 of you keeping Mane, because isn't Froggy keeping him as well?
I think Froggy is, yes, at the moment.
Yeah. So it's still something I'm weighing up in myself as to if I keep him, how I'm going to get Sterling. But if you're set on keeping Mane, I mean, that's pretty impressive. But personally, I want Dini on the pitch against Arsenal. I could see him getting a goal there. Getting a goal into Arsenal.
If he does that, then yeah, I would then lose. I wouldn't bench Mane though. I would probably
I wouldn't bench Mane. I wouldn't. The problem is, I probably wouldn't play Dini over any of those lot, and that would maybe be what tempted me to lose Mane. But we'll see. I mean, if he's set on him, it's going to be something I'll look at myself in a bit.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got myself, and it's just you can't start him over any of those players right now because I've got the same kind of front 7 with knockout instead of Camarasa, and Dini could score against Arsenal, but I don't like him any more than any of those players. And at the end of the day, you're getting Dini for the double.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's another thing I could potentially do as an option is instead of an Arsenal striker, I could do Lukaku to Dini for next week.
Yeah. Yep.
And that would free up, cash to keep Mane and go for Salah.
All right.
Just the right amount of cash, mind you. So it'd be a tight one, but it's feasible.
Definitely would. I think that was all for him. Prophet posted.
Prophet's got about 3.
Yeah, so I think he's not sure on which one to do.
I think I looked at it earlier, and I think I liked his second or third, or not his first.
Let's take it in order. So the first option is a tapped bank. Nice symmetry. I don't like Murray at all, but fair.
He's selling him. I think him and PP are absolutely set on the Murray to Deeney.
Yeah.
route.
Again, with Lloris, you're not playing him this week. So what are you getting out of him? In the double, you're one of those games is City. I guess you have him for the run-in. So if you want to pay 5.4 to have him for the run-in, okay. I'd rather a Gunn or a Foster, honestly. And he has no Watford, so I'd rather a Foster there.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the second.
So there is Foster. Yeah.
That's better. I like that better. One, it doesn't have Murray. Two, it's got Lukaku in there, which I agree with others. I think that's a good punt for this weekend for the rest of the year. Going Jota and Deulofeu.
Which is, yeah, so he's basically got the same set of me, except he's got Sterling over as to my Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas.
It's a good team.
And I can see how he's managed to afford it. That's where Profit's got about, he's similar to Team Values. He's got about 2 million more than me, which is basically funding him that Robertson and Laporte thing. But again, what's his plan for Salah or Mane? I'm guessing it's going to be Sterling.
Yep. He said he'll figure out Liverpool when he gets there, and I agree with that approach. There's many options you could do by that point. But yeah. Sterling would go out for maybe Mane.
Yeah, by then he could do Laporte down to like Bednarek and Sterling up to Salah.
Yep. Profit. Spend the extra 0.1 and get Mendy. we need the support.
Yeah, join us, Mendy bros.
Yeah. I like this team. I mean, let's look at the third one, but I like that one better than the first. Third one is Deeney. And he's kept mounting in this one.
And he's got 1.1 in the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a rich. Well, he's got luck, but again, he's going to, assuming this point, he's going to be playing Lloris this week.
Yep. So he won't go with a triple Brighton. He'll go with Lloris, which is fine.
Yeah, it's fine if you're playing Lloris this week. Yeah. I wouldn't want Lloris to bench him this week. It's just
right.
It's a waste of his best fixture.
Yeah. I think I prefer the second option.
I do. I think I like the second one.
I do too. Yeah.
Show us back up to that one. Yeah.
Here's the two, if you could see that on the screen. So you're looking at Mane, Holebas, and Lloris in the third team, and Dunk, Foster in the top one. Everything else, and then Lukaku in the second one too. I like the second one. And not only that, it saves you first down.
I'm tempted to copy that, except have Lucas over Sterling.
I guess in the second one, uses transfer to do Ryan to Gunn after this week.
Yeah. I mean, that's an option. I mean, you could keep it even for 35 and do that. 36, you got Newcastle at home, so that could be a nice one.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Yeah, if you do a second team, I don't see where you would need to do a transfer next week if everybody stays healthy.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he'd want some Southampton in there, but otherwise,
they don't have a great double, but they're definitely 36 on. You could get a couple of Southampton, like Ryan de Gunn, a Valeri.
I mean, does it have it in the bank? How much profit got left in the bank with that second team?
Not one.
So I've got Lucas, that same team but I've got Dunk. I've got in there, I think, Gunn over. Yeah. Gunn and Mendy over Foster and Laporte, I think, and I've got like 3.3 left, so that's just a crazy value.
Yeah, he is, I think, second or third. Gloria
I
think the most TV has the most sell value.
Yeah,
Jossie, Profit are right there, and I think I'm fourth. I have 105.9 sell value. I think Gloria K is like 106.5. I think he has.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, again, the only issue there is where you find the cash for Salah or Mane, but otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think we're all in agreement that the second option's pretty good.
Yep, it's 4 points this week and next, and I think that's what you want to do. And then it's well balanced. You could save the two frees for 36. So I think it's got a good symmetry and balance in that whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tempted by something similar.
Yep. All right, let's Blues. So torn between keeping pool players or going all out with double game week. Also unsure between Money and Højbjerg and Jota and Delafeu, and he will be bench boosting next week. I believe we all are, except Bo is planning on bench boosting in a single. I think at 30.
Yeah, and Jo, I think used it
already. Yeah, he used it in a CCL week, if I remember right. So he's asking basically, does he keep pool players or does he sell them? I'm okay with selling Alexander Arnold personally. Didn't see how much he has in the bank now, but there's all good. I don't know what his TV is. It looks pretty.
Oh, is it Les Bleus, this team?
This is Les Blues team, yeah.
Yeah.
I can look real quick what his TV is now. Comparatively, he didn't post it.
I'm in a similar boat. I'm not sure about keeping Mane or not. At the moment, I've got him kept, but
right now he has 0.8 in the bank, and he's on wild card, so I think that's an accurate number.
No, I really don't know. It's a personal preference call at the end of the day. I think the team as he's got it is looking great. I think he's pretty well set up for the next few weeks.
Definitely.
It depends where he is in ranking-wise as well, whether he's happy with where he is at the moment and just wants to kind of play it safe, or if he wants to...
He's at 70.2K, which is like 3K above me. So he's in that area where you want to kind of break into the top 25 with a couple of pumps.
Yeah, so in his position, I'd probably play a bit more aggressive and try and maybe punt on the double game weeks. Yeah, it's really his call if he wants to play aggressive and bring in more double game weekers for Mane.
Yep. I would do Alexander Arnold to dunk, or you could do Holibas, but then it gives him 2 double Watford. But again, their game week 35 is great. They're double.
Yeah.
You mean, you're limited options with only 0.8 in the bank, but that would be get real aggressive. Again, another Mendy bro, just to spend the 0.1 to get Mendy.
We could do Mane to Delafeu and then maybe Lukaku for Dini.
For Dini, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, team. So our consensus is team looks good, but if he wants to get, those would be the moves we suggest.
Yeah.
Okay. Bo saw a swan in his way.
It looks like he's getting ready to run it over there.
Yeah,
he's about to drive his car into a lake.
Yes. Swan's going to grab his wallet. Watch out.
He's got one of those futuristic cars. The wheels fall down and it becomes a boat.
So we talked Jossie, we talked Froggy's team. Zofar, I know he has the cricket guys over tonight, so he couldn't join us, but 0.5 in the bank. Valeri with the 0.2 over Bednarik. Everything else okay.
Yeah, I think he paid 3.9 for Bednarik.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
He got Bednarik at 3.9 and he's held him for however long.
He's only gone up to 4.1, so he's got 1.1 made profit there.
Yeah, so it's basically is it worth spending that 0.2 to get Valerie? I don't know.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but it's worth it. I mean, he does get in good spots in the box, and he has a couple of set pieces, but I don't think it's worth it, the extra.
And I also think Bednarik is safer as a centre back in a double game week. I think fullbacks have a little bit more chance of rotation.
Yeah. He's also going Lloris, but again, without Ryan, fine. Still has the guys in double defense.
No, looks good.
Yeah, for his keep the 0.2, see what happens. I mean, if you wanted to just spread it elsewhere, you could go Sterling to one of the other city mids and upgrade Dini.
Right. Ooh, just in time. The press conference is underway for Watford.
For Watford? Oh, yeah, Delafeu.
So I'll just have a quick scan through.
Sure.
See if anything's come up yet.
So as far goes, I mean, unless it's a great team as it is, if you're set on Sterling for safety, because a lot of people have him in his team, and He may not start all of them, but he'll get hauls probably in the 1 or 2 that he does start. That's fine. If you want to get more aggressive, maybe down to KDB or even Bilva, and then Dini can become a Lukaku.
Okay, Holebas is injured, folks. Holebas hamstring injury.
Nice.
Wow. Looks like De La Feu's fit, though.
Well, at least he trolled us before the wild card.
Yeah.
De La Feu is what?
De La Feu sounds like he's fit. According to Dinner, he says Grassi says he's got 3 out: Holebas, Quinea, and Cleverly.
Okay, that's good.
That's good. So then I might go back to Foster then if there's no chance of Holebas. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, a hamstring doesn't sound like he's going to make next week somehow.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't take the chance of bringing him in for
like 2 to 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Hamstrings are tricky.
All right, Hungry Man, I think is next.
Yes? Oh, God. I'm really going to show him how to take a screenshot with his phone or use the app. He takes it with his phone on the PC. But anyway, so in the range of fire here in this draft with how sunny it is, don't know if he has any in the bank. Let me see if he posted down below. He did not, but it looks to be a pretty big team there. Edison, Ryan, Vertonghen. Rashford, I think we're all kind of we don't know what's you would suspect United get knocked out, but on the off chance he's no go, I think, in the league.
Yeah, I'm not keen on Rashford as an option.
I can give you his TV when I find his name. There he is. He has 1.6 left in the bank as of now.
So I think I'd lose Vertonghen and Edison in order to upgrade Rashford. Or
I would almost do Edison to foster a gun.
Yeah.
Get enough.
Yeah. So I've got the full quotes here from Gracia on the team news. So I'm not sure about Holebas. We need to see how he is. He will not be ready for next game for sure. Massina is ready. He came on and did well in other games, blah, blah, blah. Gerard Deulofeu and Kiko Firmini also came off in the extra bit at Wembley, but Gracia reported that Kiko trained all this week and Gerard as well.
Nice.
So Kiko's an option potentially there.
Is an option, yes. Cool. All right. Just back to Hungry Man. Yeah, I would have
that's Hungry Man.
Foster a gun. Vertonghen to who could we do Vertonghen to?
Well, I guess that depends on how much he needs to kind of upgrade Rashford to either Lukaku or Lacazette.
A lot.
I
mean, he's got 0.1 in the bank there.
Yeah, well, his current TV is 1.6. I don't know if he's made some moves since then, but yeah, on this screenshot, yeah, he doesn't have enough. I mean, I know he loves Sterling, so he's not going to think about downgrading Sterling to another City mid. It's tough. I'm not sure he can do an upgrade of Rashford.
Unless you went Vertonghen down to like Bednarek, which would free up like 2 mil, and Edison down to Gunn, which would free up like another 1.3.
Yeah, Triple Saints would give him enough to get Lukaku probably.
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to go Rashford, I would just go Dini then in that case.
Yeah.
Ignore it completely.
All right.
I'm real happy with the Deulofeu news. I really am, because I think I'm going to start.
Yeah, he's trained all week. I'm happy with that. It'll stick him. So I'm wondering now what to do as far as Dunk goes for next week, because I can't get Bolly.
You're cutting out in this, JK. I couldn't quite make out what you said.
Oh, I'll try. So I'm debating now what to do with Dunk. Because if I'm going for Jota and Jimenez, and Doherty, I've got no space for Bolly. So I'm either look at Kiko, or I end up spending my budget keeping Robbo, bringing in Mendy, and possibly going for Valerie, because I don't know who else I'd want apart from Bednarek.
Yeah. That's a tough one. I think Mendy's a good point.
I do. I think so too.
Yeah, I mean, I look at bringing Mendy in. It's just a question of whether I keep Robbo now. But then I'm sort of struggling for options as far as 36 goes for bringing in.
The thing that's keeping Robbo in my team is I know I'm going to need to use free transfers to get kind of another Liverpool asset in for Huddersfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're definitely going to want Liverpool defense to close out the end of the season because the fixtures are good. So.
Yeah, but I mean, he could theoretically come in for Mendy.
That's my plan. It's a Robo for Mendy switch with the money in the bank, and then it's easy if I don't go Salah. If I do, then the Aguero to Firmino option is there as well. But yeah, I'm okay going without Poole for these next two, and hope to get them back.
Yeah. I mean, Mendy isn't the worst thing. It just means I can't get Salah, basically.
Which is fine.
I have to take Mane.
In current structured form, I don't know why that would. Don't you think Poole's going to kind of grind out a little bit? I mean, not go for the jugular 3, 4, 5 nils in all these matches.
I'm probably not going to bother with Salah anyway. I still think he's not worth the price. I
just think it's going to be really to cover the captaincy in 36.
That's pretty much it. And the people who are going to TC him as well. If you don't have him at all, you just better hope he doesn't haul.
Yeah.
But after that, I don't know if I captain him in any of those.
I wouldn't. It's literally just a Huddersfield game because you're not going to captain Salah or Mane next week because you've got a double going on.
Yeah. I mean, and then you 37, you're looking at a United asset.
Yeah.
And then 38.
And you're 38, you're looking at Lukaku again, maybe.
Lukaku again. You could take a punt on an Ings because they play Huddersfield. You know, there's many options.
Yeah. So I'm just looking. So if I want for, say, Mendy over Valerie, I can easily just play, say, Duffy, Dunk, and Mendy this week, and then do Dunk to Valerie for next week. That's an option. That could work. And all I need to do then is De La Feu to, say, Højbjerg and Lucas to Mane for 36.
Yeah. I mean, so you'd be selling... So you would not be getting De La Feu at all, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I'd have De La Feu for now, and I'd sell him in 36 after the double. Going Lucas to Mane.
I think that's fine. That could work.
If I was to go Lukaku over Dini and Mane to De La Feu, basically no Liverpool assets, that basically means after this week, my knockout replacement needs to be kind of 5.2 or less. So
you got Ward Prowse work in that spot?
No, because I've got triple.
Oh, you got defense. Not really anybody else for the double.
Maybe Hughes punt.
Hughes could work, I guess.
It's basically him or another Watford player. I was surprised. Doucouré is 5.9. That's crazy.
5.9? Is he really? Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
More expensive than De La Feu.
Yeah. I think De La Feu started at 5.5 this year, if I remember correctly, because we thought about him at the beginning of the year. Yeah, Doucouré started at 6.
I guess he did have a good season last year, but
I think the thing with Doucouré is he's nailed. Like, he doesn't miss many games.
But he's kind of a box-to-box kind of...
He is. The thing is, his stats aren't that dissimilar to De La Feu's. He's got more shots, actually.
Well, he gets forward. That's the thing. He's a really good all-round player. I really rate him, but 5.9, that's crazy.
Yeah. I just can't see him being worth the extra 0.2. Like, if he was cheaper than De La Feu, yeah.
He scored against United, and I think that got a lot of people's attention. Have him as an option. I don't know.
I think that's what's holding me back from getting Lukaku is I just don't know who I'd replace Knockout with.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable sort of consideration there. Because if you haven't got options in a Saints mid, you've basically got Will Hughes, and that's it.
Yeah.
Or keeping Knockout.
I could go down to Hudson-Odoi at 4.2 and just have him as a bench fodder for the rest of the season. But that means I'm I guess it's no different to having Mane as a single game weeker, not having a full team of double game weekers next week.
Yep. All right. Do we have anything else going on, lads, or are we all good to go? No. Captains. We never talk captains on these things anymore. We all on Duffy?
I'm not sure yet. I'm still tempted to go for a single game week, but right now I'm on Duffy, yes.
I'm on Duffy unless I get Lukaku.
I think I'm on Duffy. I'll consider Son up until the next hour, but I think...
Yeah, I'm still considering Lukaku.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Son's a good one as well. I think it really comes down to Duffy, Son, or Lukaku.
Part of me just wants to say that I captained a Brighton player in a double game week. A Brighton defender of all things.
Defender is 47.
I don't know. There's part of me thinks it could be genius. There's part of me thinks it could be Andy Carroll all over again.
Yeah.
It's like the least flair move ever. Captain defender back from Brighton.
He's got better stats than Andy Carroll. All right, lads. Great talking to you. I'll send out the link for this. I'll list that where we talk about everybody's team so the guys can see it pretty quickly. And good luck. An hour and 40 minutes to the deadline.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you next week. All right. Bye.
Bye.